Men are nothing but investments. I've been thinking lately. I've been rewatching this video that I did like a year ago, that I re-uploaded yesterday, called like you only have women when you need them. I'm sorry, I mean you only have women when you don't need them, or whatever. And that really got me thinking on a deeper level how men are really nothing but investments with anyone they deal with. Because when people deal with men, when men deal with men, when women deal with men, when your job deals with you as a man, the corporation, when they deal with you as a man, you're just an investment where they want to put in a little bit to get a lot more in return. But anytime someone deals with you as a man, they always need and want more from you than they give you, because you're nothing but an investment. Like, for example, right? You buy into a stock, right? Let's say you spend $1,000 in Apple stock, right? Apple Corporation, iPhones. Let's say you put $1,000 in that stock because you think in 5 years, 10 years, it'll pay out $30,000, right? So you're willing to put a little bit, but deep down you want way more from that stock than you're putting in, right? That's how everybody views men. Let's say you meet a girl, right? She'll give you a little bit of love, a little bit of sex, a little bit of loyalty, right? She views her time as a huge asset. So, she doesn't have to be that great of a woman. Let's say she gives you 2 months of her time. That's an investment to her. And she thinks because she invested 2 measly months of her time in you, you're entitled to she's entitled to you giving her your entire life, right? Now that she's given you 2 months, you got to give her like 50 years plus a house, plus kids, plus everything paid for. The same way as if you invested in a little stock and you put a measly $1,000 in it, you want $50,000, $100,000 return later, right? Same thing your job does. They hire you. You might be the most skilled man for the job, right? Let's say you're a skilled salesman, like I was. You have the potential to make the company anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 a year in sales. But, we're going to pay you $40,000 a year, and then you're going to get taxed 40% of that by the government. So at the end of the day, you're left with maybe, $20,000, $25,000. Then after bills and expenses and car payments and credit card debt and health insurance, you're left with about negative $5,000 every year. That's really how everyone in society views men, even other men. Your homie reaches out to you. He'll chill with you for a little bit, but he's like, yo, bro, let me hold something, man. Let me hold some money, bro. Let me hold this. Let me hold that. Everybody who deals with men just views them as an investment where I give a little bit to get a lot. I find that incredibly interesting because that basically means, as a man, anytime someone's coming to you to deal with you, you're always on the losing end of the deal. Now, back in the day, back when, our great-great-grandma and grandpa and whoever the fuck were getting married, supposedly, right? People didn't view each other as investments. People viewed each other as valuable, authentic, beautiful creatures where it's like, yo, I want to build with this person. And through thick and thin, I'm going to be there with them because I value them. I value their personality. I value what they stand for. And I want to, I want this person around me forever, no matter what it takes. They're so valuable to me on a human level. It doesn't matter if we have to struggle together. It doesn't matter. It's like, I'm with them. I chose this person, so I'm going to ride it out with this person, right? And that's what makes people truly happy. But everyone these days, especially when dealing with men, has this investment attitude where it's like, I'm going to give a little bit so I can reap, 10 times what I put into it back. But that does nothing for the man. As a man, if you come up to me and you're trying to give me a fucking little, piece of chicken in exchange for a turkey, that's not a good deal for me, and that's not going to lead to my, emotional fulfillment. And really, that's not going to lead to your emotional fulfillment either, because how can you truly be happy with someone you're pimping the fuck out of? I've pimped people in the past, and I never respected them, and I never really felt good being around them, because I'm like, yo, this is like a trick-hoe relationship, Whether you're the trick or whether you're the hoe, or even whether you're the pimp who's, pimping the trick and the hoe, no matter how high you go up in the hierarchy, you're never really going to have true fulfillment because you can't respect the people you're dealing with. and you don't truly value the people you're dealing with. So you never really feel like you're getting the best anyway, because at the end of the day, we crave to be with people we value. In any sort of relationship or partnership or whatever, friendship, man to man, man dating woman, whatever. If you don't really like love and value the people you're dealing with, on a human level, there's always going to be a degree of emptiness and a void. And this whole investment mentality, this whole upgrade mentality that we have, and it's not even the Western world anymore. Like in my last video, I was talking about how it's in the Western world. I've been talking to guys in the Middle East, all over the world. This is becoming a worldwide phenomenon. Like after social media, everybody has this upgrade Kardashian investment mentality, where it's like, I'm going to do what I have to do to get more likes. I'm going to do what I have to do to get more money, I've never had that mentality. To me, it's like I'm looking for lifelong relationships, lifelong bonds, lifelong friendships and partnerships and connections. To me, the value in someone comes the more time you spend with them, the more you build with them, the more you can say, like, yo, that's been my best friend for like 20 years. Like, that's fucking powerful to me. Not like I upgraded my friends every 6 months and now I'm friends with like the most famous person I could find. Like that's pretty empty and disappointing to me, I don't know. I guess people just don't have that mentality though, man. I guess it's just about investing and upgrading and getting a return on your fucking investment. But that doesn't lead to that deep emotional fulfillment that you want. See, that feeds the ego, but that doesn't feed the spirit. And that's what I'm starting to realize. We need to turn off the ego and focus on what the spirit wants. Because ultimately what the spirit wants is what you were meant to do, A lot of the ego is man-made creation, man-made indoctrination, social programming, social conditioning. What you see on TV feeds the ego, but it doesn't feed the spirit. In order to feed the spirit, you have to turn off a lot of these shallow, egotistical desires. And it just seems like something people are not ready to do yet. I don't know if they ever will be. But even when you win, you're going to lose if you're feeding the ego. Even if you did everything your ego ever wanted, all the money, all the power, the most perfect friends you can find, the most perfect trophy bitch you can find, there's always going to be a level of emptiness there because you have an investment mentality. You don't have a genuine soul-searching, building powerful bonds sort of mentality, So that's really just the moral of the story, man, especially with men. See, the thing is, like with women or with your job, they get the better end of the investment mentality. It's still shallow. It's still not going to make them happy, but at least the woman gets more from you than you get from her. At least the company, when they hire you, you make more money for them than they give you back. So at least they're on the better end of the deal, which it's still shit, like I said. But as a man, you're really in the worst position because everyone's coming to you to get way more from you than they're going to give you. So every single interaction you really have with men or with women or with anyone, it takes from you more than it gives you, and that's really the worst position to be in because that's just like a slow death. So yeah, man, men are really just viewed as nothing more than investments.